Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90 and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss any upload as it comes up. And if you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while, the easiest way for you to move around or to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest in that. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you consider becoming a member of the channel. So on the subscribe button, you see a join button there. Make sure you become a member so to support the team on the production. And catch you around.
Well, Sylvia Masebo's statement has been trending the past 48 hours, the statement where she put it across in news diggers to say, I thought I was coming here to rest, but Lands Ministry is messy. So she says she thought transfer to the Ministry of Lands was a way of what to go and rest, only to discover that the Ministry of Lands was also got a lot of mess as compared to the Ministry of Health in which she was. She's really making it difficult for the president. This is where you get to see that the president has got his preferential individuals, because if you remember when he fired that lady, the one that was Minister of Information, it was based off the conversation, at least from public view, based on the conversation where the people were deeming her to be incompetent, the former Minister of Information, the one before Cornelius Mweto. But for Sylvia Masebo, the number of blunders that have come across, but she seems to be like a pillar in the UPND or one of the people that the president prefers, because so this statement, this is what it has caused. People responding, you can see those comments say rest. People are wondering to say, what do you mean rest? Because if someone intends to rest, you retire or you resign. You don't go into a government job expecting to expect rest and then just people laugh it off. You can see those comments there. But yeah, so that statement has brought about a lot of conversations, people weighing in. And one of the people that was weighing in is Toto Kafwaya, a member of parliament, and he has this to say about what he thinks about Sylvia Masebo's statement. So I am touched by this thought. I thought I came here to rest, but Ministry of Land is messy, Masebo. And then he attaches that the individual has written this article. He says, this must hurt Hakainde Hichilema more than anyone else, he starts his article. Even though Minister Masebo says the mess is in reference to, the mess in she's referencing was left by the Patriotic Front. My interpretation is that UPND is so incompetent that it has no capacity to clean up the mess after 3 years in office. She urges people not to entertain PF or Patriotic Front, but support the United Party for National Development, the UPND, without stating when the mess will be cleaned up. Since UPND has failed to clean up the mess in the Ministry of Lands after 3 years in office, when then is that mess going to be cleaned up? He asks the question. That's Mtoto Kafwaya there. While she says that was PF mess, what is she saying about the predecessor in the ministry regarding his capacity to clean up the mess? So he asked the question to say, if she's saying she's found the mess in the Ministry of Lands where she's been posted, what of the person that was there before her, who was the UPND individual? Did he fail? He asks the question. What should that indicate to the appointing authority? I think Hakainde Hichilema should be hurt the most. This is a self-confirmation that the inability inherent within the United Party for National Development government or UPND government to resolve problems. Hakainde Hichilema has trusted the ministers who failed to clean up the mess in Ministry of Lands to go to and clean up the mess of the UPND in the Ministry of Health. So he says, because there was a switch up between the Ministry of Lands and the Ministry of Health, he says, and then he highlights the messes that that he noted. The mess regarding the $100 million US health post deal, the mess regarding 61 containers of medicine, the mess regarding the PSs giving contracts to themselves, the mess regarding theft of drugs, the mess regarding the procurement of drugs, the mess regarding non-functional cancer hospital radiotherapy machines, the mess regarding the non-availability of drugs in hospitals and health centers, the mess regarding the employment of volunteers. If you remember, there was that hiccup between Masebo and the volunteers where she was even warning them to say she felt pity for them. That's what she's referring to, the ones who had volunteered during the outbreak of Korea earlier on this year. And then, honestly speaking, I respect Minister Muchima I respect Minister Muchima for a patriotic. I think he is, but I'm very worried about the views coming from her or his counterpart, or meaning Sylvia Masebo. So he says he respects the new Minister of Health, but there are those statements that are coming from Sylvia Masebo puts him in the light of an incompetent minister, she says, or he says there. Coming back to Minister Masebo, I am disappointed that she thought she was going to Ministry of Lands to rest. I thought she was fully aware that she was going there to save. And then again, I must worry, Haka engage them more than anyone else. So he says, imagine if the president placing a minister in a ministry who thinks she's going to rest when the president wants her to go and save her. This is really unfortunate. So he adds to that. That's really unfortunate. And then he goes on to tabulate. You imagine the president puts it, and that's such unfortunate. I could be wrong, but in my strong opinion, the Minister Masebo is thinking resting. She could resign and let the president assign someone who has the mentality to save and not resting in the first place. She could have just declined the deployment, since this is her thinking, was there just to be asked to be moved to the Ministry of Lands. And then he goes on to tabulate everything, restoring everything patriotic. So that's his view. What is Chief Eteri says, okay, so number UPND, just face the reality. Otherwise, we are stuck at the same place and not moving. There is a David out there. Let's look for him. So Chief Eteri is weighing in on the component, because the Tose Alliance and most of the people that were banking on Edgar Chagwa seem to be stuck on appointing a new individual, endorsing a new person that Edgar Chagwa can put his weight behind in terms of the political landscape. That's what Shufetari was referring to there, to say, now that he issued a statement that is not sitting well with the patriotic front, does this mean that he has been given some money by the UPND and simply disputing the fact to say the reality should be addressed? The elephant in the room is that don't say Alliance or the PF should simply appoint a person that is going to take over from that Edgar Chagwa as we enter 2025, because the elections are upon us. As you may be aware, on the 16th of February 2025, Pembesho will be holding by-elections, including Petauke Central. So those are going to be serious battlegrounds on winning back those seats, or the UPND takes them off, which will clearly put them as a majority in parliament. So that's what Chief Eteri is referring to there. And then in the news diggers, ministers should use the state resources, shouldn't use state resources when campaigning. Only Haka in the HM and Vice President of VIP allowed ECZ. So the Electoral Commission of Zambia has issued a statement saying ministers shouldn't use the official vehicles and everything related to national resources or state resources when campaigning. And I don't know in what capacity ECZ is issuing that. That's supposed to be standard, known. But anyway, we'll wait and see how that plays out in February as we go to those by-elections. This was reported in the news diggers. And what else is in the news? A pregnant woman protests load shedding. As you may be aware, we're still facing that load shedding in the nation. That's in the daily revelation. And then Pembeshe Port dead set. That's what I was referring to. That's likely to take place on the same date as Petauke Central. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.